September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland without a declaration of war. 2 days later, on September 3rd, 1939, England and France declared war on Germany. By June 4th, 1940, the Germans were advancing toward Paris. The French government, under Dr. Berger, had been secretly experimenting with toxins for chemical-biological warfare. Even the exact location of the laboratory was unknown except to a very few. As the fall of the French government became inevitable, Washington wanted to be sure that the chemical-biological lab had been neutralized and that the bacterial strains were safe from the Germans. Therefore, General Winfield of United States Army Intelligence, stationed in England, was ordered to check this out and, if necessary, to destroy the lab. General Douglas Winfield, U.S. Army Intelligence, London, 1940, 12006, 9RY11, priority A1. Confirm or deny existence of secret biological warfare center and presence of deadly toxins in northern France. Washington became increasingly interested in the value of the toxins and set in motion an effort to get samples of the chemical to ascertain the reality of its effectiveness as an instrument of war. A network of operations was established to determine the best manner in which to effect such a mission. It was decided to transmit the samples via a coastline procedure. The courier was a member of the French underground.
Sarah.
What is it?
Code transmission.
What was that?
Not decipherable, sir. Code within code.
Where did it come in exactly?
170 degrees.
Correct to 170.
ASP calling. ASP calling. Courier has made contact.
Full throttle.
ASP calling. He is in the process of delivering package. He is in the process of delivering package. On June 8, 1940, in a small cafe on the outskirts of Paris, an American agent, Sidney Stassen, made contact with the courier. Stassen was unable to obtain the location of the lab. He did succeed in obtaining a small vial of the active strains of bacteria. Unfortunately, the American agent had been under close surveillance by a Nazi agent, Herr Kruger, and a French collaborator, Monsieur Paul Lamotte.
Ich glaube, hat es dem Yankee gegeben. Wir können nicht erlauben. Darf es nicht nach England schmuggeln.
Macht er überhaupt nicht. Bring ihn gleich um. Oh, mon Dieu.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Vous n'avez pas vu les panneaux? Il ne faut pas stationner ici. Un convoi militaire va passer par ici. Vos papiers, s'il vous plaît.
Bon, j'ai compris. Je vais changer de place. Voilà.
Merci.
Kann ich gehen? Ich habe ein Handtuch.
Oui, monsieur.
What the devil? Who are you? I want that fire. No way. You fool! Look what you've done! You've broken the vial! Stassen, can you hear me?
Take it easy, Stassen. We'll soon be in London.
This will relieve the pain.
I never saw anything like this. He's going into cardiac arrest. Check his blood pressure.
There is no blood pressure.
Tell the pilot to have an ambulance ready to take him to the military security lab in South London right away.
Reports of the Sidney Stassen exposure and the deadly reaction of the chemical made Washington realize that the CBN laboratory must be neutralized and the bacterial strains made safe from any use by the Germans, who had by now infiltrated the area of the laboratory.
There's almost no heartbeat, sir. Hit him with another 15 cc's of adrenaline, and when we get there, have a priest standing by.
I have notified my government several times of your request. But there is great confusion in France. The Germans are sweeping across my country.
Look, we have to know if the CBW lab is secure, if the bacterial strains are safe from the Germans.
I'm in a very awkward position, General. I have my masters as you have yours.
Henry, for the love of God, will you give me that location? Now, look, we have a new program set up with Washington. We're going to drop trained teams into France to be like agents in place when your government falls. Now, I've got 2 crack operatives standing by right now. You give me the location, I'll start the operation. We'll put them in there and put the lid on this thing once and for all.
I'm certain my government has already taken care of it.
Well, what if they haven't? You said yourself, Henry, the Germans are running rampant across France. And besides that, how many people even knew what Dr. Berger was working on? Now, what if they haven't taken care of it? Are you willing to take that chance?
Where was your man Stassen when he was contaminated?
In Paris, he bought a sample of the toxins from a French courier. Later, he was attacked. Something went wrong.
Stassen just died, sir.
It will take me 2 hours to get all the details. For now, all I know is the lab is on the outskirts of Saint-Denis, in an old winery north of the suburbs. I will have everything I can get my hands on in 2 hours.
Captain, I want you to notify Alhern and Breakerhoff. I want them ready to airdrop into France at 2300 hours.
Now, you notify the Pentagon. We're putting Gypsy warriors into operation.
Es tut mir sehr leid, Herr Schlagel, aber es war eine sehr schwierige Situation. Der Mann wollte die Toxen kaufen. Wir konnten nichts anderes tun. Aber ich bin überzeugt davon, dass der Mann angesteckt war. Sogar if the English did pick him up, I am sure he was dead before the plane landed. And I am certain they do not know the location of the lab. But I do. It is in Saint-Denis. It was a classified French experiment. I smoke too much.
Move up our timetable. Alert Field Marshal Reinhardt and tell him I'll personally be in his advance column.
Where were you? There were 2 English officers here looking for you. Oh, Ted.
Don't think, Dad. Let it just happen.
Don't try to think of anything else.
Once when I was chopping wood on my farm in Vermont, the axe slipped, and for about 30 seconds there, I thought I was losing my thumb.
Oh, no, not here. They're always coming in here looking for towels.
Where?
Oh, I'll show you.
Are you Captain Theodore Brighoff, 472-8419?
Sorry. Dr. Dwight Livingston, U.S. Medical Liaison to British Medical HQ. We're going to have to prep this guy. I'll be in scrub in 10 minutes. I want 12 pints of glucose, cross-referenced and typed. Also, run an IV. Excuse us,
right,
please.
Doctor.
Pardon me?
Begging your pardon, do you mind producing some kind of identification?
Identification? Identification? I've got a triple disymmetric hyperbolic aneurysm about to erupt in a poor wounded infantry lieutenant, and you want identification.
Yes, please, sir, if you don't mind.
Well, I do. I certainly do. Come along.
Excuse me. Captain Brighoff, you're going to have to come with us right away, sir. We have your debarkation orders here.
Nice try, Ted.
You're good. You're very good, and I admire excellence. And that is why I am prepared to offer you $50 American in exchange for a small favor. It's nothing more than a delay, really.
All right, this way, sir. Mind the step, please. On your way.
$60.
This way.
75.
What are you doing, Captain?
Playing chess.
Take your hand off, please.
You're on a timer.
Captain Sheldon Alhern, 346-5890.
No. Captain Morris Alhern, 623-4720. Captain Shelley Alhern is my brother. He's also in London. We're often mistaken for each other. If you'd like to find him, perhaps you ought to try the public library.
Would you come with us, sir? You have debarkation orders.
Your move.
You can take this while you're at it. You're a good chess player, Captain. But I'm afraid that's where it stops.
Charmed.
Did you make out?
Did you?
Do I ever miss?
I didn't make out either.
I know this fellow's looking more and more like a potential heart case. Think he's getting enough vegetables?
Why don't you ask him and make his day?
Well, this is it. Montbaten's okayed the plans. Your orders in those folders. All the information we get from French G2 is in there, and after you've read it, just leave them here on the airplane. Your objective is a CBW lab the French have been operating in a winery near St. Denis. The Germans can't be that far south for 2 days.
CBW?
Chemical biological warfare.
Now, if you have time before the Germans occupy this sector, bring the toxins back, not destroy the lab. Captain Alhern here will have to take care of all the biological parts of it. If not, there's a demolition plan attached.
Yes, sir. We'll do it, sir.
Lots of luck to you, boys.
Yes, sir. We'll do it, sir.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I think that's rather gung-ho, Ted.
Oh, come on, Shell. We got a war to win.
Oh, well, that explains it. Thank you very much.
Freeze-dried botulistic crystals with half-lives of 2 and 3 hours. Microbiologically stable and deadly at doses of 0.1000 per 1,000 parts of air.
Do you do that just to annoy me?
I'm sorry, Ted. I forgot you like things simple. One capsule fall down and go boom.
I see.
People for 100 miles around grab their throats and go, ah!
Got it. Good. What else you got in there?
Well, apparently, the guy that came up with this stuff, Dr. Berger, got worried and created some experimental rooms with time locks that only open every 3 days. He also put the lab in the basement of a winery. Winfield figures with enough plastic explosives, we can bring the winery down around the lab and bury it forever under about 50,000 pounds of concrete and mortar. This guy Ganault is supposed to be getting the rest of the dope from the French underground.
Has Winfield told you about Ganault?
Winfield very rarely tells me anything at all. He just hands me folders full of information he doesn't understand and says, best of luck to you, son.
Ganault's a gypsy. Winfield made a cash deal with him. We're going to travel around with a family of gypsies. It's our cover for an indefinite period.
Ted, my mother wanted me to be a doctor. I don't think she'd approve of me hanging around with gypsies. They're unreliable.
Well, we are just going to have to disappoint your mother again, Shelley.
Get ready. We're over the drop zone.
The red light's on. We're over the target.
Ted! Check my chute for me, will ya?
What?
I said check my chute. No!
Looks okay to me!
That's not funny, Ted!
It opened, didn't it?
Yes, it did!
Hey, Shell, what's that hanging down under you?
That is a drag chute, Ted!
It's supposed to go on your back, dummy.
I thought it was supposed to drag down there!
Nice jump, dummy. You all right?
Thanks a lot for checking my chute, pal.
Here he comes.
Captain Brinkerhoff.
Captain Malhern.
Now, we must get out of here in case the Germans sell the parachutes. We have a 3-hour ride.
Germans? They're 200 miles from here. We gotta bury the chutes.
No! There's a column heading straight for Saint-Denis.
Well, it can't be.
Ted, I think we better go along with this guy's hunch.
They're coming.
Oh!
And how did it go?
Not very well. The Germans are very close, and we are going to have to get ready to pull out. Ah, this is Captains Brinkerhoff and Alhern, my daughter Layla, and then Drock.
This is looking better.
Hurry! Hook up the wagons. The Germans will be hitting every village in the area.
You lay one hand on her and, it's clear, no?
Very.
Oh, no, he's fooling. What do you bet?
I do not think he's fooling.
Sure he is.
Ted, I don't think he's fooling.
Must be gypsies down there. They're all over.
Hey, Ted.
Yes, sir.
Didn't General Winfield promise us there wouldn't be any Germans this far south?
That's right. It's strategically impossible.
Well, how come then we got chased by Germans last night?
They weren't Germans.
I see. Who were they?
That was the West Texas Drum and Bugle Corps.
Oh, and they were angry because they missed the bust of Corpus Christi.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, see, now it all makes sense.
So, you got the money? Ah. 25,000 francs. Oh, the deal we made with General Winfield was for 75,000.
75,000. We don't have 75,000. He only gave us 25,000, and part of that was to go to pay the underground.
But the deal was 2 for 70.
No, it's the Army. We got a year's supply of snafus for every dog, tag, and pair of boots.
Well, I suppose if you don't have it, you'll have to make some arrangements to maybe accept something less.
The winery is 10 kilometers from here.
We were talking business with your father. Do you mind?
It's 75,000 francs, or you and your friend are on foot. And Drock?
We don't need him. We can work this out.
How are you?
Give her your watch, Shell. He's got a wonderful $300 watch that he won from a Princeton graduate in a card game.
What's wrong with your watch?
Mine is junk.
Let me see. You, with the nice teeth. Take off your ring.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my West Point ring.
You want to walk, Cookie?
Your West Point ring? We're on undercover operation, and you're wearing a West Point ring?
Deal.
Are you still fond of this girl, Ted?
Well...
You touch her and Rock will kill you. It's a problem, eh, Cookie?
This is really beginning to go downhill.
Giddy up.
Winfield swore we would be here first. We get here and the place is swarming with Germans.
Well, you're the military genius. You got any ideas?
We could put the wagons in a circle.
How about something a little more current?
2 troop carriers, that's 40 people. 2 brass hats with aides, that's 45. I suggest we don't do anything overt.
There's over half a mile of open country between here and the winery. The coming and going will be a small problem, no?
Yeah. We're gonna have to blow it up. So you get in touch with the underground, and we're gonna need plans of the winery.
I wonder what kind of plumbing they got in that dump.
Where's the doctor in command here? Dr. Berger.
Je ne sais pas.
Find me Dr. Berger. And get me some plans. They must have some plans for this winery.
Yes, sir.
Well, get them.
Plans of the winery to be able to get into the laboratory in the vault.
These are the only ones. They were filed by Dr. Berger when the revisions were made. I was able to get some of Dr. Berger's notes on the experiments from one of his assistants who fled. They are incomplete, but I put them in there.
Plumbing plans are in here, right?
What's with you and the
We
plumbing?
haven't much time. We really must hurry.
What about the time lock?
I was installed by a German locksmith about 2 years ago.
German made, huh?
The time lock is a Helmut Kruger model.
You know that one?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, cast iron. After 1930, they went from closed ball bearings and electric fittings. It's quiet.
It's got no tumblers.
It's in the basement over here. There's a sealed chamber here, an airlock.
What about municipal services, Ramon? Who's running that store?
Oh, nobody. I suppose within a day or two, the German will have things organized. Right now, nothing is running.
So we shouldn't have any problem getting a hold of a municipal plumbing truck?
No, monsieur, I should think not.
Okay. Ramon, you've been a brick, thank you.
A brick?
I really should go now.
If we need to help the underground, we'll contact you. Layla knows how to contact me.
Adieu.
Hey, John! Idiots! The one we want is Raymond, a man in his middle 40s, partly bald with reddish hair and sideburns. He will know about the paratroopers.
Go. In there. Come here.
Ted, why don't you roll these people up and Layla and I get out of here, all right?
Halt!
It's stuck. Give me a little blocking, will you?
Oh, no, I don't. Let me back in there, will you?
Out! Come on, Ted. Go!
Dr. Berger told me everything about this laboratory. I expect the same cooperation from each and every one of you. The time-locked vaults open in 2 hours. I want all of you to make your normal preparations, including contamination security proceedings and so on. We will be operating on status red under no circumstances. And I repeat, under no circumstances are any of the bacterial strains to be returned to the time-locked vaults. I want everything to be left in accessible areas. Is that understood? Is it understood? If you have any questions, I'm sure Dr. Berger can answer them for you.
So, where is he?
I don't know.
We can't stay here. If he's been captured, he'll give our position away. We must move
Listen,
now.
honey, you got his watch and my ring, so we stay here till I say we leave. No offense.
We got some serious trouble here.
What do you got?
I've been looking at these notes. This stuff's a hell of a lot more dangerous than we thought it was.
I know. That's why Winfield doesn't want the Germans
quiet.
to get it.
Wait a minute and shut up, will you? Nobody knows what Berger was doing in there. Winfield has no idea what this stuff is. It's not unstable like the G2 report says. It's stable as hell. And look at this neutron chain. I've never seen one with a half-life like it. 15 years at least. And it should multiply on a half-life scale of 1 to 1, microbiologically doubling with every...
Let me know when you get to Joe DiMaggio's battery, will you?
Ted, have you ever heard of a Satan bug?
I stopped reading Buck Rogers when I was 7 years old.
I've only got 2 pages here, Ted. But it looks like if this stuff were to get into the atmosphere, it could end up killing half the world in 6 months, and there would be no way to stop it.
Crazy. Now, why would anybody develop something like
I don't know. Maybe Berger figured he could figure out a way to control it or something.
Shelley. Okay. What are you saying?
I am saying we cannot blow down that winery. If we do, we could fracture that vault. Stuff could get loose in the air. We could end up killing half the world.
But which half? As long as we save Nice and Monte Carlo, I'm willing to risk it.
That's very funny, Ted.
That's all right. It's not my best.
I'm not going to blow down that winery.
So we let the Germans have it? Okay. Okay, Shell. What do you want to do, huh? Look, Winfield knows what he's doing. He's
Winfield does not
Shut
know.
up! Now just shut up and let me finish. Now, first, we don't know what those notes are. They may not have anything to do with Berger's discovery. Are you 100% sure?
I'm not 100% sure because I haven't got all the notes.
So you're not so sure, but you want to alter the whole mission on a hunch, huh?
Who's talking about a hunch? Listen to me. I will not be responsible for laying explosives around a place where that kind of stuff can get loose.
I'm in command. I'll be responsible. Now, we got a mission, Shell, and we're gonna finish it.
Look, there's a German plane, the Junkers. That's probably on a reconnaissance flight. They're certainly not going to bomb the winery. Could be they're searching for Ramon and the other members of the French underground. Of course, it could be us, too, you know. There's always that possibility. Let's get back to the business of the day.
Listen to me. Those notes are incomplete. There isn't a Satan bug. The safe has walls 3 feet thick. They won't fracture. And right or wrong, we aren't going to let the Germans end up with it, whatever the hell it is. So we just haven't got any choice. We go ahead as planned, okay? Okay?
Sure. Okay.
Shelley, you know, you're the only guy that I'd ever trust to do this kind of job for me.
Yeah, well, your ace is with me, too, pal.
I just keep telling you, you overthink everything. Now, if you follow orders, you won't get messed up.
You know, that's the kind of priceless wisdom that belongs on the wall of a toilet. Do you wear that?
That's where I got it. Okay? Huh. You do have a plan, don't you?
Yes, I have a plan.
How long is it going to take our biologists to figure out these nodes?
They're working as fast as they can, but some of the notes are missing. It's a new process. Apparently, Dr. Berger was into something called dried crystalline biographics. It's a new field. It has to do with the interaction of oxygen with these strains. We are afraid to open the airlock until we know what we're dealing with.
Will you explain the sense of caution to Hitler in Berlin?
I'll tell them to open the chamber.
No! No.
Androk, I must talk to you.
Lila, do not bother us. Go back to the wagon as I told you. Sorry, boys, about Lila, but you know women.
These are the plans of the pumping system to the sewer lines.
The pneumatique.
A series of tubes under Paris used for transporting messages by creating a vacuum. We're gonna have to borrow that principle. This is the main sewer line here. This is the one that leads to the winery. We're gonna put the generator right here. Androck's gonna send the plastic explosives through in cylinders. I've checked the blasting points on the map. Make sure we don't rupture the safe. The walls of the lab itself are not bearing walls. They're put in afterwards. Here are the main support beams right here. These go down, the entire building should collapse around the lab. Just to make sure, Ted, I want you to place 2 more charges on the first floor. One here, one there.
All right. Now, we set the timers and get out. Nobody stays around for the show. We'll meet back with you about 10 miles south of here. Now, if it goes tapioca, everybody's scared.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait, what is this tapioca?
Now, if it goes wrong, no pairs. You stay out of sight till dark, then head south.
Okay.
You okay, Shell?
I'm okay.
Then let's do it.
Leila, you must be more careful. The Germans are all around us. Promise me you'll stay out of the fields until we get back. I have to take the American Ted, his valise that he left in the wagon.
Oui, oui, Papa.
Hello? Hello? This is Command Central calling. Hello?
Yeah?
Is this the Saint Denis command post?
Yes, sir. Colonel Schlagl is in command.
This is Sector 6, Communications. Field Marshal Schmidt-Klindenhaus calling Colonel Erich Hauptmann, 6th Division Regimental Command. Will you put him on for the Field Marshal, please?
I'm sorry, sir, there is no Colonel Hauptmann.
And he should have been there an hour ago.
One moment. Sir, 6th Division Regimental Command is on the phone. They're trying to locate a communication colonel named Hauptmann. Is he here?
Hauptmann? No.
Schneider, mein Kaffee. I'm sorry, sir, he hasn't arrived.
Well, tell him to call the Field Marshal as soon as he arrives. The Field Marshal is appalled at the lack of communication lines in this sector.
Yes, sir. Apparently, there's a CHQ communication colonel on his way. Field Marshal Klindenhaus is concerned about bad hookups, sir.
Alert the gate. When the colonel arrives, have him check in with me. Damn phone problems. What do they think we're doing here, anyway?
Yes, sir.
Sir, Herr Hauptmann von Field Marshal Klindenhaus's office is here. He is late because his car broke down. Yes, sir. Everyone entering the winery must be searched.
This is nonsense.
You report immediately to Colonel Schlegel's office. He is on the up the stairs to the left.
I did. I did that.
Well, I've jammed the sewage system. That should make the plumbing back up in the winery for Ted.
Schulman!
Sir?
The plumbing is stopped.
I'll look into it, sir.
Look into it and fix it fast.
Yes, sir.
You are a plumber?
Yes, I am with the plumbing department.
Then come with us. We wait. It should be over in less than an hour.
Oui.
schneller. Rein mit dir. Hier rein in den Wagen.
Rein mit dir.
You must shut off the main water line. You know where it is?
We will find it.
Never mind, I think I know where it is.
The main water line, now we must find the sewer. Very much fun, no?
Very large rats down there. Are you coming?
No, I wait here. Looks like we found some gypsies.
Sir?
Do we know if the French tested the crystals?
Not yet. That's why we're proceeding so slowly.
Check for others. Have the woods to the north searched thoroughly.
Yes, sir.
Be on the watch for the two paratroopers.
You are relieved.
It's early.
You are relieved.
in here. Quickly! Hurry!
Where the hell you been?
Sorry.
Close it. Close it.
That is my hand.
Close it. Shelley, stay out of that safe.
Halt! You and the wagon! You are coming with us! Follow!
I want to go into the lab.
Schlauber. We've barely started piecing together the notes and the formulas. Inside the lab may be contaminated.
I've stood around long enough. Open the airlock. If the chamber is not contaminated, we'll bring down the gypsies and try the capsules on them.
Hey! What's taking so long?
One moment.
You must be searched before you leave.
Of course. Perhaps I've stolen a rat from your sewer? Ah! Oh, no. I have forgotten my wrench inside.
Colonel Hauptmann, there you are.
Gypsies?
I suppose they will put them with the other gypsies. Colonel Schlagel wants to see you.
Of course.
Wine. I love wine. You love wine? Sadly, I have no wine cellar. Perhaps next year.
This whole place mined like the English Channel, and it's all gonna go up in 15 minutes, taking Leela Androck and Gnault with it.
You got a plan of your own? Please
I don't have a plan, but we sure as hell got to get them out of there in 15 minutes before all the charges go off.
All the charges are not going to go off in 15 minutes.
If you tell me, Shelley, that you didn't set the charges, I'm gonna tear little strips off of you and feed you to the crowds myself.
I set the charges. I just set them in 2-minute intervals.
Why the hell did you do that, Shelley?
Because I got to thinking we had a hell of a lot better chance of not fracturing that vault if this whole place didn't come down at once. Now, if you don't agree, that's entirely your privilege. You don't agree, do you?
I hate it. The theory of command states that a commander must be in possession of all pertinent facts prior to execution. And the secondary operational procedures must be his sole province. And that command decisions are only possible under controlled circumstances.
And I hate that.
So you set the charges, huh? You staggered them. Is that what you did?
That's what I did.
Well, the whole place goes up in 12 minutes, hot shot. What are you gonna do, huh?
We improvise.
No.
We wait till the first one goes off.
We used the confusion to move through this stuff. Now, Layla and Androck and Ganault have got to be in the basement. It's the only place they could be. While the Germans are trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
The whole place coming down in 50-ton chunks, right?
It's going to take 3 to 4 charges to get that parade rolling. Before the walls can come tumbling down, we can be out of the basement into the courtyard.
I hate it.
Ted, I know you hate it, but do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Bring down the gypsies.
Yes, sir.
How much time we got?
4 minutes. We gotta do something. They're bringing them out.
Algemees! Roust, roust.
Androck, move him in that room. Let's go, Androck, move him. Move!
How much time do we have?
How would I know? You got my watch.
Sometimes hard to say thank you. You and Shelley could have left us there, but you didn't.
Well, normally I might try some sort of a line on you, try and sweep you off into the bushes, but maybe this time we ought to just settle on a handshake, huh?
It's difficult trying to keep us afloat. I have to be, tough about the money because everybody tries to cheat the gypsies. But you and Shelley were different. You didn't try to cheat us. It will be an honor to continue working with you. You are our friends.
There was water in that safe canal, which means that wall was fractured somewhere.
when we get this stuff in the cement, it's gonna sit on the bottom of that lake like an anchor. Before the water can corrode the galvanized and eat through the cement, these little babies are gonna be harmless. Tell me when.
Good.
All right. Now, Gnault, one thing you gotta promise me. What? That you don't mention this to Ted. All it'll do is get him angry, and it won't do anybody any good.
Now, there's one thing you gotta promise me, Layla. Don't mention this to Shelley. All it'll do is get him angry, and it won't do anybody any good.
Well, we will meet you 40 miles south. I must find another wagon.
Tell General Winfield to come up with some cash next time. We don't want to keep working for watches and rings.
Please, please, it is very late. We must go. The Germans are moving closer all the time.
Hey, Ted, I think I'm really starting to turn the corner with Layla. Finally beating your time with a woman.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
The most important thing to remember, Shelley, about this whole operation is that you were wrong.
Wrong? What do you mean?
The safe did not fracture.
Uh-huh.
The Satan bug was not a Satan bug or whatever. At any rate, fill your lungs, boy. There is no contamination around here.
Of course there isn't. Why don't we just get rid of this thing and be a little more comfortable like
that?
that?
Oh, yeah?
Thank you so much, Ted.
So you see, Shell, maybe there is a lesson to be learned here.
Oh, yeah?
On June 10th, 1940, Mussolini announced that Italy was now at war with France. On June 11th, Paris was declared an open city. The Germans entered Paris on June 14th. A frightened population, gathering what belongings they could carry, fled Paris along the roads to the south, joining those already fleeing from northern France and Belgium, which had capitulated in late May. June 21st, a French delegation, representing the Pétain government now in power, met with Hitler at Ritonde in the same railroad coach in which the armistice of 1918 had been signed. The armistice with Germany was signed at 6:42 p.m., June 22nd. In Rome, on June 24th, a French delegation signed an armistice with Italy. Mission Gypsy Warriors was successfully completed on June 25th, the day the armistice went into effect. Unknown to our heroes, Dr. Berger had anticipated that the toxins might fall into enemy hands. After the Germans crossed into French territory, he sent the formula and samples of the bacterial strains into a neutral country. He neutralized the remaining toxins the day before the Germans arrived in Saint-Denis. On June 25th, it was most urgent that Brinkerhoff and Alhern get out of France. But that, of course, would be no problem for our Gypsy warriors.